Hello everyone and welcome to the Weekly Report. For Randall Riley, I'm Joshua Miller. Let's dive right in. This week in job board searches and clicks. Truck driver searches were up across the board. We saw increases of 11% week over week, 10% month over month, and 18% year over year. On the flip side, clicks were all down. There were decreases of 15% week over week, 5% month over month, and 10% year over year. And with those drops, clicks notched their lowest levels since the last full week of May. But searches climbed to the second highest level since the end of April. Clicks increased on postings for inexperienced and trainee drivers and decreased for experienced drivers. But it was the postings for company drivers and teams that saw the largest percentage drop in activity week over week. This week in freight. Load posting volume rose by 1% week over week. That breaks down to a 3% week over week increase for both dry van and refrigerated, while flatbed dipped by 1% week over week. Truck availability on the spot market increased by 9% week over week. With that increase, we saw increases for dry van of 25% and 14% increase week over week for refrigerated, while flatbed remained unchanged. Overall spot rates were also unchanged last week, but we did see increases of 3 cents per mile for dry van and 6 cents per mile for refrigerated, while the rates for flatbed fell by 2 cents per mile. Thus far, both spot volume and rates are outpacing seasonal expectations for the second half of the year. But as we've mentioned on the report before, given all the craziness and ongoing disruptions that we face, it's a little hard to draw any conclusions or put too much weight into those seasonal expectations or projections just yet. That being said, spot volume and rates are well above last year's levels and the 5-year average from 2015 to 2019. And now for our story of the week. Retention numbers have always been extremely important for fleets, but with such a tight market for drivers in our current economy, driver retention takes on even more importance. ACT Research's Driver Availability Index, that is a mouthful, shows that driver availability dropped to its lowest point in March. And while we've seen some indications that the driver market has improved somewhat since then, driver availability currently remains low. This tight market has led to fleets looking for new strategies beyond the obvious pay increases to attract and retain drivers. The average cost of onboarding a new driver can go as high as $10,000, if not higher, for some carriers. One thing that fleets have noticed is that providing newer trucks increases their chances of driver retention, which then trickles down to lowering onboarding expenses. Fewer drivers you lose and need to replace, the less money you need to spend onboarding new ones, right? Carriers that operate new trucks have an advantage in both recruiting new drivers and retaining their current ones. And this edge is only amplified because it is so difficult to get new trucks at the moment. So, if your fleet has newer equipment, take advantage of it. Let the drivers know what you have to offer. It could make an impact on their decision-making process. New trucks featuring newer technology, advanced safety features, and fewer maintenance issues equate to less downtime and or breakdowns on the side of the road. In addition, the cost for all that new safety technology, we're talking things like collision avoidance, disc brakes, lane change, and electronic stability, etc. Those kinds of equipment typically yield a return on the original safety technology investment in about 18 months. This means carriers are able to reduce long-term truck repair and replacement costs, while at the same time lowering those onboarding costs. And that does it for this week's report. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week with more stats and a new story of the week. New reports debut every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, and you can find those over on our blog or on our YouTube channel, in addition to all kinds of other recruiting content. So come on back and see us next week as we take another look back to help you move forward. Until then, have a great week, everybody.